Hi, there's Heidi. I'll spotlight her while I can see her. Oh, where's she gone? She was there. Oh, there's Nifto. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
I was just testing my mic because it had a thingy on it, like a warning sign, so it's working.
Oh, good. Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
You're good. Just
He's all right. Hi, guys. Oh, Jenna, I thought you were going to do a cartwheel. She would as well. Look at her. Hang on, let me spotlight you. She's clearing the space. Hang on, hang on. There you go. Go on, you've got the floor.
Go, Jen.
Woo! God, I love you. Oh dear, just a bit of a warm up for everyone.
She walks off really casually, like nothing ever happened.
Just like, yeah, I did that. Could not even do a roly poly. Okay, right. So we shall not wait too long. While we're waiting, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for coming, everybody, and use the chat. I'm going to pop it up and feel free to chat and ask questions, and we shall answer them if we can. And while we're getting started, tell me something good that's happened today in the chat. I love to hear those. Just making a cuppa and some toast. I feel Lee's just come in with a load of food shopping, and I really wanted to ask him to make me a coffee, but he's got to put the shopping away, so I feel like I didn't dare ask him. Oh dear. Oh, one of your team is just hit certified 3 possible join combos. Oh, you sent your first email. I love that. My daughter is waving at you. Oh, that is so cute. New teamie for Ashley. Hi, Lindsay's daughter. I love that. I meant to bring my Ulster stuff down and I've forgotten it. I brought the wrong thing, the wrong blue tube. I brought deep freeze. So I think I should put that on my song. Okay, Monday launches. Yeah, they was exciting. Okay, so today, week 2 of our 4-week program for Simple Steps. And today is all about networking. I'm really excited about tonight. I feel like we've got some really, really good content for you guys. So using the chat, tell me, be honest, there's no right or wrong answer. Who knows what networking is? You can just say yes or no, but just tell me if you feel like you know what networking is. Okay, we've got a lot of yeses. Yeses, yes, sort of. Yeah. Sort of, yeah. Okay, who actively does it in their business? Intentionally, actively, and really dedicates time to doing it. We need to improve your speaking with people in relationships. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah. Cool, cool, cool. Let's do that every day. Okay, cool. Right. Okay. Well, tonight is all about networking. And in honor of obviously the title of the program, Simple Steps, we want to really keep it. We really want to keep what we're talking about simple tonight. So I'm hoping we've kind of broken it down into 3 sections. I'm hoping it's going to really, really break it down for you guys. And if you are already actively doing it, hopefully this will give you some new ideas and new things to do, and it'll be really, really useful for you. So, okay. Oh, I don't need that sheet. That was my scrap sheet. Okay, so when I thought about it, obviously we're a network marketing company. Okay, so the key is in the title, networking. We need to network marketing. That is what our business is. The business model is they don't have a shop or paid advertisement or celebrity endorsements. They use people like us to network our products and our opportunity to the people we know in our network, and then that's how we grow our businesses. So that's what it is. But upon Googling the word networking, okay, I found this quite interesting. Google defines networking as a mutually beneficial relationship with another business owner, potential team member, or customer. That's how it defines the word networking, a mutually beneficial relationship. So when it's mutually beneficial, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. It talks about like, obviously for you, you can grow your business, and for them, they're getting something too. So it's really, really, really important that you do. Does it make sense? Does that make sense? It did to me. I thought that made a lot of sense. Okay, so when you join and you brand new, your immediate, the way you would immediately grow your business is you start introducing it to the people you know, the people in your immediate network, so your friends and your family, the people who you could look at, who you speak to regularly, the people who comment on your posts on Facebook, the people who you chat to, you know, the people you're regularly in contact with. That would be the people you would immediately, when you first start, that's how, well, I would say 99% of people start. They introduce their business, they show their business to the people they know. And then, but to grow big, to grow a big business and to grow further, because that will only ever get you so far, you have to move beyond that. You have to move beyond the people that you know. You cannot grow a huge business just from the people you know. It needs to go further. You have to move beyond that. So to do so, there's two main ways that in this day and age that we use, and that's online and in person. So you've got two fantastic resources, obviously, out there in person and online. So Heidi's going to massively talk about online, and Vicky's going to talk about in person. But in chat, I'm really interested. Tell me what percentage you would say you roughly work your business online and in person, your networking online and in person. I would say mine's 90% online, 10% in person. I'm interested what you guys would say yours is. 90% online, 75% online, 25%. I'm interested in anyone who, yeah, we're all pretty similar, I guess. 75% online, 40% online. Someone said 40% in person, 60% online. Yeah. I think because online is like, we can literally do it when we wake up in the morning or when you're laying in bed at night. You don't need to leave your house, you don't have to see people. It is so much easier. There's a much bigger resource, and you don't have to be in the same place as that person. It's a much bigger resource. In person is extremely powerful, but I know when I started, I would say 100% of mine was online. I didn't speak to anybody. I never spoke to anybody about Scentsy. It was all online. Online, I was like, Scentsy everywhere, but in person I was just like but I have grown. That has changed, and I'm much more confident with that over time. It's something that I've established over the time. So as well as having the two different ways, online as in person, there's also two different parts to really successfully networking, which hopefully we're going to cover both tonight. One, so to establish your network skills, so there's two different ways, and then there's two different parts. So one is where you're actively going out there and you're making connections with people, you're speaking to people, you are instigating conversations, you are sort of injecting yourself in situations where you can talk to people and you are doing the instigating. And the other way is attraction marketing, where you are putting content out there, you're putting things, posts and content, and you're putting yourself out there, and you are attracting people to you. You are making people want to connect with you. So there's two different ways, where you put yourself out there, and then where you attract people to you. Who feels like they understand attraction marketing? I'm interested. David, yeah. I feel like it's taken me a long time to really understand it and really get it. And it's taken me a lot of watching what other people do, watching what people who are successful do, how they've done it ish. Yeah. Okay. So both ways work on social media and in person. Both ways are really, really effective in social media. And in fact, you understand it, but you're hopeless at it. Well, that's the first step, like thinking, right, okay, what can I do? There's both ways. So attracting people to you and taking, going out there and finding people yourself. They're two great ways of networking, online and in person. There are literally, it blows my mind every time I sit and think about this, every time I need, like, have a moment of like, right, what am I going to do? Like, because I've been in the business 4 years now, I've literally spoke to everyone I know about Scentsy. And sometimes I have to sit there and I have to think, do you know what? There's millions of people out there who've never tried Scentsy. They've never even heard of it. And they are going to love it when they try it. They're going to absolutely fall in love with it, just like I did when I tried it, just like you did when you tried it. And they're probably going to want to join too. There's millions of people out there. My job is to go out and find them. That's all I've got to do. Just go out and find them. Just go out and put myself in a situation or attract people to me when who are going to fall in love with Scentsy. That is literally, that's whenever I have a wobble, whenever I have a moment like, okay, I've spoken to everyone. I've totally exhausted my current network. I need to grow my network. I just think that, and I think, wow, like there is, like, you just need to think about how many consultants there are versus how many people are in every place that Scentsy is currently working in all 3 regions. It's phenomenal. So, one of the first things you need to do when you want to successfully network is be okay with the fact that you sell Scentsy. Like, just totally be okay with it. You don't just accept the fact that you sell Scentsy and you show other people how to do the same thing too. Sorry, I've got woolly jumper there. Show other people that they can do it too. You have to be okay with that. You absolutely have to be okay with that. You can't be hiding behind it or shy. You have to, and that's going to take confidence. That's going to take time. I know for a fact that is going to take everyone time. Some people are instantly okay with it. Some people just need a little bit of time to build the confidence and grow. And then the other is be coachable, okay? And I'm going to use Vicky as an example here, just not as a real example, just as like not like an actual thing that's happened. But when I say be coachable, this is what I mean, okay? So if Vicky said to me, Tam, I need new customers, I couldn't possibly say, Vicky, what about your mum's friend Linda? What about Babs from Down Bingo? They've never tried Scentsy. I don't know that. I don't know what's going on in Vicky's life. I don't know who Vicky knows. I don't know Vicky's network, and I don't know who her network knows. That for Vicky to be coachable, she would need to watch this training and think, right, I need to go out and network. Who do I know? To be coachable, she would then need to think, what opportunities are available to me right now? What opportunities can I find that are right now? Like, I couldn't say to her, okay, Linda and Babs, both give them a sample pack. They'll love Scentsy, because I don't know that. I have no idea. Your sponsor, nobody else knows that for you. Only you know that. So to be coachable, you have to be open to the fact that you are going to have to sit and look and think about how you can grow and what things that interest you, who you know, who you can go out there and find, okay? And look for and create opportunities. You can look for the opportunities that are available right now, and if they're not available right now, you have to go create them. It's so simple, okay? You've got the opportunity, you have to sit and look at the people you know right now, and then if there isn't any, or if you've exhausted all those, you have to create more, okay? You need to think, who do you know right now to network with? But then the absolutely Babs from Bingo, Gemma's customer. I nearly texted Vicky and said, name me a couple of your mum's pals. But to go big, you have to think, who do they know? So not just who do you know, but who do they know? Oh, I can hear the kettle, that's a good sign. Okay, so on average, each person has 100 contacts. I'm not saying friends, contacts. That is people from friends, family members, hairdressers, people who do their dogs grooming, people who they see at the shop on a regular basis, 100 people, okay? I would say with social media, that's probably a lot bigger now. I would say with the amount of people we all connect with on a daily basis, that's probably bigger. So each person you know, on average, has 100 contacts, right? Even if only 10% of those people are interested or respond to your business, that's still huge. That's still massive. And if they only respond in the first 3 months, that's still growth. Okay, that's growth. And then they know people and they know people and so on. But if you're actively networking, that is going to grow much, much quicker. If you are intentionally and actively networking, then those people you know are going to grow much, much quicker. Okay. What I want you to do is I want you to watch and learn the training and implement the training. But I really, really, really want you to think, I am going to, for the next 6 months, really actively network, really actively and consistently network for 6 months. I'm going to put like no excuses. I'm going to make sure every single week I'm going to make time to network and grow my network, and watch what happens to your business. Just watch what happens to your business, okay? And work on attraction marketing and the things that these guys talked to you about tonight. Really work on that for 6 months and just watch what happens to your business. I promise you, if you work on it, your business will grow. So when we talked about looking for opportunities, not just obviously the opportunities that are available for you right now, when you're spending time scrolling on Facebook and you see in your posts being on holiday and the things, your post being on holiday, a post about your friend who's been on holiday, or a post about someone who's looking for a job, look for the opportunities. And when you go out the house, so when I go to the hairdressers or go get my nails done, I take catalogs with me, I take business cards with me, I take sample packs with me, and I am actively making an effort to speak to people. I'm smiling at people, I'm complimenting people, I'm trying to connect with people so that they then connect back with me, and then you can then start obviously conversations, and then that's when you connect with people. And it's really important. On social media, it's a lot easier to get people's contact information, but in real person, I think Heidi said a contact's nothing without a way of getting in contact with them. So if you have sample packs and you are in the hairdressers and you say to the person doing your hair about a sample pack, other people are going to hear around you and they're going to be interested. And then you can then say, well, add me on Facebook and I'll add you to my group. If you add me now, I'll add you to my group. Thank you. So it's really, really important that you're not only, attracting these situations to you, but you're actively going out and creating them and looking for them as well. Somebody who successfully networks will constantly have their Scentsy goggles on, constantly, every time. And I'm not saying talking to a walking, talking Scentsy machine. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that every time you see someone say, do you want to buy Scentsy? Do you want to buy Scentsy? That's not what I'm saying. But learning, and it's skills you're going to learn over time. Okay, I have learned them over time. Okay, it's not something that has come easy to me. It's something that I've had to push and push and push and learn. I'm not great at talking to people face to face. I have barely any friends. I am terrible in huge groups of people. I feel like I just want to run and hide and go home. I am not great. I'm the person who just like makes an excuse and disappears. I'm so bad in those situations, but I've learned how to connect with people one-on-one, and you take the situations that you can do it. Okay, it's a very, very long game. It is the things you do, the connections you make today are not gonna oh, thank you, David. The connections you make today are not going to pay you off straight away. It's going to take time, but it's work worth doing. I can't tell you enough. It's work worth doing for your business. So when you are starting to chat to people, you don't have to go in straight with Scentsy. You can just start. I'm trying really hard not to nick anything that Vicky's going to say. Because I'm worried that I'm going to say it and like you're going to like, well, I've got no to say now. But you need to be really like, just start chatting to people, and you don't have to mention Scentsy, but you can just start talking to people. I'll ask people when I'm sat in the hairdressers, the person next to me with their hair dye on, I'll crack a joke about myself usually, and then that starts a bit of a mutual conversation, and things just grow and develop from there. The people in my team now, the people I recruit now, that my customers now, are not people I knew when I joined. They're new people that I've gone out there and networked to find. They're people I've gone out there and like made an effort, and I literally every day I am constantly and it's become such a huge part of what I do when I'm on my phone or when I go somewhere. Networking is like something that comes naturally to me now. And it'll come naturally to you too. I promise, promise. It will absolutely come naturally to you. It's a learned skill, and it will grow and develop, and it will just become part of who you are. Okay, right, I'm gonna stop. Pass it over to Heidi.
Hi guys, hope you're all okay. Right then, just as Tam said something then, I was literally just writing exactly the same thing down, and I wrote down, I feel like there's two parts to building relationships and networking on social media. One part is you creating the opportunities to build a relationship and network with people, and then there is you going out there and building relationships and networking with people with opportunities that you haven't created. And so I'm going to cover both of them. I'm going to give you a few practical tips and just make you think about your business is you. It's not Scentsy. Your whole brand is actually you. And when we say brand, we have spoke about this on trainings we've done recently. When we say brand, it's not the colours you choose or the fonts you choose. The brand is what makes up you. And no matter whether you've got children, you've got a family, you've got pets, you haven't got children, you haven't got pets, every single person has something that somebody else can relate to. And those are the things that help you build your relationships and make you relatable to others and build your network through that. So you've really got to sit down and think, what am I about? What are my hobbies? What are my interests? What do I post about? And so things like I'll post about my kids. I love being out. And as well, I know that not everybody is happy sharing a lot of personal details, but you can be personal without sharing, oversharing, or if you don't want your kids on social media, that's absolutely fine. But there are plenty of things that you can share that will allow people to get to know you. So really think about, you'll see lots of people sharing their dogs and their cats. If I share my cat on Instagram, she's a grey cat, and put a hashtag on, loads of conversations start from that. And there's literally nothing Scentsy about it, but somebody has related to me about that fact that my cat's grey and they love grey cats and they've got a grey cat, and we start chatting. And you never know, not all conversations are going to lead to Scentsy, but you never know where that conversation might go. And if you're not out there creating those chances, then you're never going to meet new people. Some of you might love gardening. I think it's my age. I've really got into gardening and like the sky and sunsets lately. There's just the simple things in life. But when you talk about those things, maybe you've got a toddler. I did a reel and I'd made this ladder out of sticks for my sweet peas to climb up. That reel got so many views on Instagram, and I'd put it in my stories, and so many people messaged me about this crazy creation that I'd sat in the garden. And a lot of people, you will find that a lot of people might follow you, but they might not be interested in Scentsy whatsoever, but they might absolutely love the fact that you've got a Cocker Spaniel, or they might absolutely love the fact that you love your garden. And maybe they don't like home fragrance, but their mother-in-law's, whose birthday it is next month, might love home fragrance, and they might be looking for a gift. And if you hadn't shared part of your life with them or little bits of your life, they might never have commented. I think when we first start Scentsy, none of us know what on earth we're doing, and I think it's quite normal to just post quite salesy posts. You learn to be better at that as you go on and use your attraction marketing. But I think you will find successful people are personal on everything that they post. Every interaction or anything, every post they put on their group or their page or in their stories, there's always a tiny little bit of personal information first. When I post on my group, more often than not, the first paragraph is something about what I have done that day or what I'm going to do that day. And if I just posted, it makes people think if I'm going out in my garden, I'm using just like my kind of examples. You'd put in what you're doing. Maybe you're going for a run. Maybe you are cleaning. Maybe you're cleaning your makeup drawer out. Maybe you love makeup, and you just chat about what you're doing. You just, as if you were chatting to a friend that morning. When I open up my shop in my group in the morning, I say morning. I always put a little bit in there about what I'm doing, and then I put something about whatever. I might put a picture of a product, and I might put a picture of me, something about my life, the sunset that night or whatever. There's always something personal in those posts, and I really do believe that is where the success happens. People get bored. People don't come on to social media to be sold to. People, if all you're posting is sales post after sales post, they will get bored. They can go and find Scentsy from any consultant in the land. You need to make them want to hang around you. You need to make them want to click on that notification that you've just put in your group, because they want to see what you're up to. They want to see what you're doing. Your brand is you. They just want to see what you're doing. And there's lots of other ways that you can put posts up. So a lot of times the best post to put in your group is, has anyone got any Netflix series recommendations? That is like the best post ever. And every time I put that in my group, there's always people that will comment on that have never bought Scentsy from me ever. And then that gives me a chance to start chatting with them. Again, sometimes those conversations dry up and they don't go anywhere, but sometimes I get chatting to people, and then it gives me an opportunity to maybe say, oh, what's this? Or what? You haven't tried it yet? Oh, well, you can have my borrow bag. Or you're just creating those chances for yourself. And if all you're posting is, oh, isn't the cream diamond lovely? £55. You're not giving them a chance to interact with you. So I think always thinking about what post you can put on to start interaction, but it's not necessarily for the interaction, it's for the chance to get in there and build relationships with them and network with them. They might not want Scentsy, but they might know somebody that has been with another network marketing company and isn't happy, and they know that she'd be great at Scentsy. You just never know who that person can lead to or what it could bring to your business. And so I think really trying to get to know people and giving them a chance with some interaction posts, some really personal stuff in your group is really, really important. I think having a presence across all social media is really important as well. If you only post in your group, not everyone sees your group posts. I don't want you to spread yourself really thin and go and be on every social media platform there is, because it's better that you do kind of 2 or 3, or even if one is your limit, then that's absolutely fine. If you want to go and do 2, I do Facebook and Instagram, and I feel pretty confident that I can post on there, except I am rubbish at posting on my grid. So don't go to my Instagram and be like, well, she was just talking about Instagram saying she's good on that. I'm rubbish on my grid, but I'm really, really good on my stories. That has become a habit. But it took time for me to think, right, I need to post on my stories. Now I just do it. If I'm cutting samples, or if I see the sky's gorgeous, or if I'm cleaning or whatever, it comes natural to me now to just post on my stories. And sometimes my kids get a bit fed up of it. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. And they're like, oh, what are you doing? Why are you storying this? But it's a habit to me now. And so that comes really easy. And the more that you do stuff, the more you think, oh, that's a really good thing for stories. And I watch other people's stories loads, and I get loads of inspiration, not necessarily Scentsy consultants. I get inspiration from loads of different people's stories to make my own stories as well. And the great thing with stories is when people comment on your stories, it goes straight to inbox. So you can start chatting to them in the inbox straight away. Always try and build on that conversation to see where it goes. And it was funny when Tam and I were crafting, every single day we would all go and comment. And I'm not saying do this because I don't think it'd quite work in the Scentsy business. We always used to do something different. our crafts were all very different, our businesses were very different, but every single day, every morning, probably between 9 and 9:30, we would all go and comment on each other's posts. And I know so many crafters from those days, and it wasn't a case I didn't know any of them, but now I have a whole new circle of friends. Not a new circle, it's old now, it was new at the time. I have a whole circle of friends just from commenting on those posts. But you can't do it for a week and think, well, they didn't buy Scentsy from me, they're rubbish, I'll just go and find somebody else's post to comment on. This is the long game. You know, I had my craft business for 5 years, and it took, you know, years and months of building up those relationships. And some of those ladies will still come and comment on my posts now, and if their pages pop up, I'll comment on those posts, because those relationships have built up over time. And I've actually seen social media experts, or I've seen quite a few people say that before you do a post, to go and comment and engage with accounts for 10 minutes before you put your post up. So go and find some people you follow, or just go through your news feed. This is Instagram and Facebook. Go through your news feed, liking posts, popping little comments on there, then post your post, and then go and do another 10 minutes scrolling for your newsfeed, putting comments and things on their posts. And apparently that really helps your reach. How true it is, I don't know. You'll have to have a little investigate, maybe do it for a week without and then do it for a week with. But I've seen quite a few people say that. And I just jumped forward because I was talking about having a presence on all social media. And I think you've got your group, but I think your personal profile is just as important as your group. And I don't want you to sweat what you're going to put on and stress about what's going on where. As a rule of thumb, you really, really don't sell on your personal profile at all. But there's no reason why you can't take a picture of you with a brew or the wax you've just popped in your lounge warmer, saying how amazing your house smells and how happy you are, how much you love life and things like that. I love a quote on my personal profile sometimes, and obviously that's where just our life goes, what we're doing, where we've been that day. But I think having a presence on your group and on your personal profile is really important as well, because people might not see your group post, but they might see you post on your personal profile. And a lot of people will follow and watch you for a long time before they buy, before they join. They want to see what you're doing. They just need to watch for a while. A lot of people will want to watch what you're doing. So give them stuff to watch, give them content to watch, be likable, stay. I know it's your own personal profile, but when you own a business, your whole social media presence becomes your brand. And so keep away, I would advise, keep away from politics and things that are likely to cause massive dramas, and just be, do you know what, social media it can really get some people down. So don't be that person, be that likable one, be that one where people want to come and it's fresh and it's just happy and uplifting. Be that person that people want to come to you and follow. I think the more you do this, it does take time to find what your brand is and to find your flow, I think. And I think over time as well, your brand evolves and changes, and that's okay. And it's also okay that not everybody is going to relate to you. We can't all like not that we can't all like each other, that came out wrong, I didn't want to say that. Not everybody is going to get on with everybody, and that's okay. That's just life, isn't it? It'd be pretty boring if everybody just loved everybody. So you know, you might not relate to other people. If I'm talking about my grown-up children and somebody's only got little babies and toddlers, they're likely not to relate to my children. But if you've got things like you can post in your group and things, if you've got little toddlers and that morning you were sat cutting samples and you found some colouring activity or something on Pinterest, share things like that. It just helps really build relationships with people that isn't Scentsy at all. And that is where your relationship building will build, basically. And I've kind of just spoke about, so I wanted to talk about you creating those chances and opportunities for people to come to you, so attracting you. And then the other side of it is you going out and finding people to chat to and network with. I think Instagram's a really good place for this. I don't know about you, but I don't see many businesses and pages and things in my newsfeed on Facebook anymore. I've got plenty of friends that I can interact with, but Instagram's really good for seeing business accounts, and I don't know, there's an account for everything, isn't there? I follow a dog account, This Dog Talks. There's always captions on this dog. There really is an account for everything. And so go out there and find things that interest you and chat to people on their accounts. Just, I don't know, if it's a dog, just say, oh my gosh, this is gorgeous, I've got a dog like that, or blah blah blah, whatever interests you. Go and find people that interest you and chat away to them, and that is the way. I'm just having a look at your comments. Sorry, I missed them. I'll have a look properly in a minute. Go away and find people. On Facebook, there is a group for everything. Whatever you're into, there is a group. You can join groups and chat away to people in there. Obviously, you're not just going to go in there and post that you sell Scentsy. And if you do start chatting to people, you're not going to say straight away, oh, I sell Scentsy, do you want to buy any? It doesn't work like that. You've got to build up a relationship with them. I'm just going to quickly check my notes to make sure I didn't miss anything. No, I don't think so. I think I got everything. So everything that we chatted about before, Tam, I think it was, wasn't it? Yeah, I think I'm good to go. That is kind of social media and building relationships and networking with others. And Vicky is going to chat to you about doing it in person.
Thank you. Hello. So I am going to kick off with a question. And what I want to know is, if you were speaking to somebody brand new and they asked you what you did, how would you reply? What would you say? If somebody asked you what you did, what would you say to them? Without thinking too much, I don't want to be sat here like, oh, is anyone going to reply? But if face to face, if someone said to you, what do you do? I'm a solicitor. Good one. I'm a Scentsy consultant. Woo. Let's have a look. I tell them I work with children. Oh, it's flipped right up. I sell home fragrance. I do Scentsy full time. They reply, what Scentsy? Right, cool. So what we've got to think about is there's a 10-second rule, a 10-second elevator conversation rule or lift conversation. So say you're in a lift, you've got to have a speech. You've got to have a speech ready to say you're in a lift with somebody and you have a quick conversation while the lift's going up to your floor. 10 seconds you've got to practice and you've got to nail what you can say to that person to then get a conversation started. So it could be, obviously, a solicitor, but I also sell Scentsy on the side. Have you ever heard of it? That kind of conversation. You've got to nail it. You've got to practice it because you've got to be prepared for people to ask you. When you are talking to somebody new, say you're in a lift with somebody and you really you think, you like the look of her or him, and you think, oh God, yeah, I really want to talk to this person. You could just, be friendly, strike up conversation, and a great way to get them to ask you about what you do is ask them what they do. So you could easily just say, hi, start a little conversation. Oh, what do you do? And then they'll go, oh, well, I'm an accountant. What do you do? And then that's when you strike. That's the bit. You've got 10 seconds from that. Well, what do you do? You've got 10 seconds to perfect it. I'm going to be totally honest. I've not perfected it. I don't know if Adi and Tam have perfected theirs. I've not perfected it because I was absolutely petrified of anybody speaking to me about Scentsy. And it still makes me nervous. I'll be totally honest. It still makes me nervous. But I am a lot better with it. But you've got to practice what you're going to say when people ask you what you do. If people ask you about your business, about your life, about what do you do for a living, anything like that, and do you see this person? So it's all right saying, yeah, I'm an accountant, but you're not, do you need to be doing their books or do you want to sell Scentsy to them? So you could just skip the accountant bit and say, oh, well, I have actually got my own home fragrance business. Have you heard of Scentsy? Do you know, anything like that to get the conversation going? Because it's like, do you want to do the books, or do you want to sell them some Scentsy, or get them to join your team? So that's what you've kind of got to go in with. You've got to perfect that reply to, well, what do you do? And like I said, I've not perfected it. I'm still working on it. Do you know, I'm getting better with it. But that is the first rule of thumb, is perfect and practice that that what do you do question. Another thing that I want to talk about is building relationships in person. Like, it is so important, because I know, like a lot of you said, 90%, I think that was like the common denominator, the common number. 90% of people do their networking online, which is fine. So do I. I do the majority of my networking online. But I have learned through Scentsy, like before Scentsy, I was quite shy. I was a very shy person. Do you know, get a few drinks down me. Sam, it's true. Get a few drinks down me, and I would like come out my shell a bit and stuff. But say if there was like a group of people, I would be the one that was just kind of like sat back a bit, and I was quite shy pre-Scentsy. And like I said it last week, I would not wear Scentsy branding. I was petrified that anybody would look at me. I didn't want people to look at me. I bloody went to Vegas to get married on my own because I didn't want people looking at me. Because I didn't want a big wedding or anything, because that's how nervous I was about people looking at me. So wearing Scentsy branding, to me, I saw you trying to recruit a taxi driver's wife in Amsterdam. Yeah, I was probably going to say that must have been after a drink. But yeah, so like wearing the Scentsy branding was always a no-go, because I was petrified of people looking for me, and I was petrified of people saying, oh, what Scentsy, or asking me questions about Scentsy. But you've got to push the comfort zones, and you've got to do it. So now I'm totally cool with it. I wear my Scentsy hoodie to school near enough every, not that I go to school, but my school run, near enough every day. And it's building them relationships, like with the school mums or dads, do you know, people around the playground outside of school. Do you know, like now I'm totally fine with talking to people, and it's these people. So like my son is in year 1 and he started in the nursery there, so I've been doing that school run now for like nursery reception in year 1, so like 3 years barring COVID, so I'd say 2 years. I've been doing that school run for 2 years, and I've actually got, I think, about 2 or 3 teamies from the playground. And that's just because of me going in my Scentsy hoodie, being friendly, being approachable, starting conversations, you know, instead of like, I know some people do, and it's totally fine because not everybody feels comfortable talking, which I didn't either. But I made myself do it because I knew that I wanted my business to grow, and I saw an opportunity. The same mums are on the run day and night. So it's either those mums are working part-time or they're working short hours. They're not working at all. They're a stay-at-home mum. And, you know, there's all different reasons why they're there. And I wanted to find out why they're there. And I wanted to find out if Scentsy could help them. So I start saying good morning. I start saying hiya. You know, I start making them connections with people. And it takes time, you know, we're in it for the long haul. It takes time. Like I say, 3 years I've been doing it. And literally about, was it 2 weeks ago? It was the third mum who signed up with me from the playground. And that was only 2 weeks ago. He's been in, my son's been in her daughter's class for 3 years. So, and she only just signed up 2 weeks ago. So I've spent 3 years building that relationship with her. And of course, like 3 years ago, I was brand new to Scentsy myself. I was petrified. I didn't go into the school playground thinking, you know, oh God, I'm going to recruit her, because I didn't think that at all, because I didn't want to talk to anybody about Scentsy. I wanted to add and be a keyboard Scentsy warrior. That's what I wanted to do. But you've just got to get yourself out there. So I've spent this time building these relationships, and that's what you've got to do, even when you cannot be asked, when you cannot be bothered to do it. You've got to do it. You've got to be approachable. You've got to be friendly. Like Tam said, smile at people, you know, make people feel, you know, like you've noticed them, and just be a nice person. Like, even when you really don't feel like it, it is just good to do. And you soon get talking, and then it comes turns on and it's like, oh, what do you do? Oh, well, I sell Scentsy. Have you ever heard of it? Oh no. Well, do you want a borrow bag? You see them every day at school. You can take them a borrow bag. And I'm not just going to talk about school, because I know that not everybody's got kids, but that's just a really good example for me personally. But yeah, it's whatever, like I asked saying, you know, like every person who serves you at the shop, you know, you're going to take them a borrow bag, anything like that. There's loads of different ways that you can get talking to people. Maybe it's people that you see in a park while you're walking your dog, or you're in there with your kids. Maybe it's somebody, you know, in like a waiting area. If you've got an appointment and you're in a waiting area, if you're friendly, if you're approachable, if you're letting on to people, and you know, just like, you know, just being like, "Are you all right?" Or thanking people when they're holding the doors open for you, holding the doors for people. Do you know, any little bits and bobs? If you're seeing someone all the time, if you've got the same route that you take to work, the same people on the bus that you see, be friendly, be approachable, and start building them relationships. Because honestly, you will never ever know what it leads to. And where in the future, like we say, we're in it for the long haul. You never know at what point in the future that could then become something. And I have got a story in a second about that. But another thing I wanted to say is, like, when you're going on holiday, if you're going on a day out, or do you know, where you're going somewhere, a holiday is a good example, where you're going to be stuck for a week, 2 weeks, round the pool, same people, seeing the same people every day. You're going to make friends. It's normal that we all go on holiday and we all make friends. My husband helps a lot because he's quite chatty, he's really sociable, so it's easy for him to make friends. He's a massive football fan, he's a massive rugby fan, he's a big sports fan, so he finds it really easy to talk to people. So that does help. So it's just looking out for things that you might have in common with people. So like Hardy said, you would look, do you know what, just because you haven't got kids or pets or whatever, it doesn't mean that's something that you're into, other people are into. So it's just like looking for like people, do you know? So if, I don't know, you might see somebody with a beach towel that's Leeds United, and you might think, oh, well, I know a bit about Leeds United. I'm just saying that's my husband's team. Like, it's the first one I thought of. And you might think, oh, well, I'm Leeds United. So then you could strike conversation up about Leeds United. There's a common ground, and work on that common ground and build on that common ground. And then it escalates. It really does escalate. So we went to Menorca 2 years ago on a holiday, and I'm sorry if you've heard this before, but while we was there was me, my husband, and our 2 sons went on this holiday, and we got friends with 3 different families. One of them was kind of my doing, because they had 2 boys as well, around the same age as ours. One of the families was his doing, because they was from Leeds and there was big Leeds United fans, and they also liked rugby, so we had that thing in common with them. And then the third family was just like, we sat like around the same place every day around the pool and stuff, just got chatting. It was very, very natural, like it wasn't forced. But when I met these people, it's so bad. I kind of look at, like Tam said, everybody with your Sensei goggles on. Look at everybody like you're going to recruit them, or like they're going to be your customer. Do you know, you just never ever know. And if it doesn't lead to that, then that's totally fine. Do you know, you've got a new friend, and that's fine. But look with your Sensei goggles all the time, because if you go in with that mindset that, yeah, this girl's going to like Sensei, or this family's going to get into Sensei, and then it can be done. So we went on holiday, we met these 3 families, and all 3 of the mums from them families joined Sensei. So one of them, she joined pretty much straight away, and they was all from 3 different places in the country. None of them was from where I live. So one of them, she joined pretty much straight away when we got home. It was anyway, because she joined on the £24 kit in the May. So that was when we got home. She joined. And then one of them, she asked me later that year if I'd go and travel to her house and do a home party for her. I did that, and then a few months after that, she joined. So not only did I get a big party out of her, and I got some new customers and some new contacts and some new friends out of her, she then also joined. And then the third one came to me about a year and a half later. We stayed in touch. We stayed friends on Facebook. Do you know, like, I commented on her stuff, she commented on my stuff, and we kept that relationship going. And about a year and a half later, she approached me about joining, and she joined as well. So that's 3 people just from going on that holiday, making friends, networking with them, building the relationship with them, and staying in touch with them. And all 3 of them joined. Whether there was customers first and then they joined, or like the first one, she joined straight away. So you've always, like we say, we're in it for the long haul. You've got to have it at the forefront of your mind that these people, do you know, yeah, like I say, it's great. You're going to get some new friends, but you could also get new customers and new teamers as well. So when you're building the relationship, like, sometimes it does feel like hard work, you know, especially if it's doesn't come natural to you. But I promise, like, it is so worth it. Building these relationships are so important, because it's giving them the chance to like you and to trust you and to want to, you know, they want you to be their sponsor, or they want you to be their consultant. It's giving them a really clear picture of you as a person and if they could work with you. So another thing I just want to say is, if you meet somebody new and for a split second, and again, I'm going to use Louise on my team. I know she's here as an example, because I know that this is something she does or she's done. If you for a split second meet somebody, would you mention Scentsy? If you just met him, I don't know, say you sat next to him in the hairdressers having chit chat, would you be like, oh, by the way, I'm a Scentsy consultant, have a sample pack? Like, how awkward would you feel doing that? Because I know I'd feel awkward doing it. I'd feel super awkward. Some people don't, you know, and some people are fine with that. But what I now think to myself, if in that split second I could have said something about me being a consultant, or I could have said something that would start building a relationship with that person, if I walk away, and would I kick myself for not doing it? So I've literally got a split second where I think, would I kick myself if I don't say anything? And 9 times out of 10, we walk away and we think, bloody hell, that was a perfect opportunity to start that relationship there, or to build that there, or to mention Scentsy there, or, you know, to get a new friend there, or whatever. Exactly, Louise, just do it. If you for a split second, and in that split second, you think, yeah, I'm going to regret this, and then you've just got to do it. It's going to be hard, and it is sometimes really hard, but then stepping out your comfort zone is never ever easy. So if it feels hard, then it's going to work. It's going to be good for you. It's going to help you grow. It's going to build your business. It's going to grow your confidence. If it feels hard, if it feels awkward, just do it. What is the worst that can happen? If you've got, like, I don't know, you're chatting real good with the supermarket checkout girl, you know, you've got a bit of banter going on, whatever, and you feel like you could just drop it in, because if you walk out that shop and you don't say anything, you're going to kick yourself. If you do say something and she ain't interested, she's not going to come and burn your house down, is she, for saying you're a Scentsy consultant? You know, she's not going to come and like fill you in, or, you know, you're probably never going to see her again. So what? You know, just say it, because you never know what it could lead to. I'm just need to check my notes. Yeah, so just going back to when you meet people and speaking to them in person. Sorry, I'm so dry. I can feel my throat going. So when you're building these relationships in person, like, it is so important to be yourself, completely be yourself, because a lot of the time when we're starting building relationships in person, we're going to end up friends with them on social media. We're going to end up Facebook friends, you know, they're going to follow you on Instagram, anything like that. If you're being a certain person in real life, but then on Facebook you're being completely different, and then they're not going to trust you. They're not going to know who you are. They're not going to think, oh God, yeah, do you know, that's the same girl that I met. Or, do you know, they're not going to know who you are. They're not going to want to like support you. They're not going to want to join you. They're not going to want to buy from you, because they can't trust you. Because in real life, you're one person, but then on social media, you're a completely different person. You've got to get it straight. You've got to be the same person. So you've got to be genuine, you've got to be trustworthy, you've got to be honest in real life and on social media. Your social media has got to reflect you as a person in real life. When I've just got one more story, and this is like when we say you're in it for the long haul, you just never know something that you say to somebody, how it can trigger something else, like in the future. So about 10 years ago, I went to Australia. I feel like I'm on Friends, you know, that backpacking story around Europe. 10 years ago. Yeah, so about 10 years ago, I worked in travel and I went to Australia as a travel agent. And on the trip was a guy, and obviously, like, we got friends and stuff, and like we got to know each other. We was on the trip. There was loads of us there, not just me and him. Like, we got, you know, we just became friends. We became Facebook friends after the trip. And that was that. We've stayed in contact, you know, well, not really stayed in contact, but like he'll comment on my stuff now and again, and vice versa. You know, we've just remained Facebook friends. I've never seen him again. And then the other day I was walking the dog, and this is just, it is going a bit onto social media, but when things happen in real life, you can put it on social media without thinking, oh God, I'm overdoing it on social media or whatever. So the other day I was walking my dog, and we've got these things that we call drains. So it's literally like a grass veg, because yeah, he didn't know what it was. So I'm presuming people don't know what drains are. It's literally like a grass veg with like a little riverbank running next to it. That's what we call drains. So I was walking the dog on the drain, and then he decided to go in it. And it was just a nightmare. So I put it all on my Facebook story, because that's what was going on in my real life. So I put it all on my Facebook story. Now, this guy from 10 years ago in Australia, he replied to my story. And like Hardy said, it goes into your inbox. And he was like, oh, is this the famous drain? So 10 years ago in Australia, I was clearly talking about drains. God knows why. And he was like, oh, is this the famous drain? So I was like, yeah, this is it, because I'd like done a video of it. So we was just laughing, and it was just like, oh, how's things, you know, like what you've been up to, blah, 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 you know, you're staying safe and all the rest of it. I am now having a conversation with this guy about him joining. He's seriously considering joining Sensei just because something that was going on in my real life, and my dog was being a prat and going in the drain and getting soaked and stinky. And I just documented that on my Facebook story. And that has now triggered a 10-year memory to come forward. And now we're talking about him joining. And I know that he'll be amazing, and I really want him to join. And this is what we say when it's like, don't feel like you can't post what's going on in your life on social media as well, because you just never know what you say to somebody, how it's going to come back in the future. And it could really, really help you. Like, for all I know, this guy could be the next SSD. Do you know? You just never, ever know. So being genuine and being authentic in real life and on Facebook, people are going to stick around. Do you know? What he was seeing on my Facebook was what I was like 10 years ago. Obviously, I've changed, like, a bit, probably a lot. Like, I've probably grown a lot as a person and stuff like that. But what he saw 10 years ago as me as a person in Australia, he knows that I'm still that same person, because he's stuck with me through the 10 years of my social media. So he knows that I'm still that same person. I'm a bit daft, do you know, like, kind of what you see is what you get. And he's engaged with me, and he started conversation with me about it. And now, hopefully, he's going to join, and he's going to be great. And this is why you've just got to be authentic. You've got to be your true self in person and on social media. And I think that's all I wanted to say. I just checked my notes. I've got notes everywhere. But yeah, that's it, I think. That was all right. It felt like it won't, but yeah.
No, that was amazing. That was amazing. I just want to, something Gemma Glover said to me the other day and it was about networking. She's probably not got a clue. Oh, you've not got your camera on, Gem. I wanted to ask her. She said something to me the other day, and it really spoke to me, and it's just something you said. Oh, she's turned it on. There we go. Where is she? Oh, spotlight. There she is. She's like, she doesn't have a clue what I'm on about. Unmute you, send them. So the other day, right? The other day, it really spoke to me about what you were saying about, like, if you meet someone for that second and just do it, just don't miss the opportunity. And Jen was on about contacting people, and you said to me, honestly, it could make me cry, because when you said it, I was like, oh my God. And you said, the thing is, Tam, is I know what I want. I know what I want to do with my business. I know where I want to go. And there's only me who can go and do it. And I've got to go do it. Like, I've got to take every opportunity and go for it. You were telling me the things you were going to do. And he's like, there's only me who can go do it. And I thought, that's it. That's exactly it. Like, you want your business. It's there for you. And she said, that's it. I'm going to do it. Didn't you? Can you remember?
Yeah.
It really
That was me having a wobble, weren't it? And I was like, oh, I know what I've got to do. I've just got to go out and get it. But yeah, it's only you that can do it. I've done a post in my team group earlier, and it was about being limitless. And because, like, I'm going to go on a bit, so shut me up if I crack on for too long. Like, you as a person, you're limitless, which makes your business limitless. So if you want something, go and get it, because there's nothing standing in your way other than you. So yeah. And then I had that conversation with you, and then I recruited someone. So
but you said I'm going to message her, because I know what I've got to do. I know what I want. I know where I want to go. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to speak to her. And I thought, that is it. If you want it, if you really want it, just got to go for it. You've just absolutely got to go for it. It really, really hit me when you said that. I don't know what it was, but it got me really emotional. It's like, And that's it, because you know you've got the vision, and again it comes back to your why and all those other things that we spoke about. You've got the vision of what it is that you want your business to do for you, and there's only one way you're doing it. There's only one way you're getting there, and that's what
It's so important to like have a dream board. I used to think, oh, I ain't got time to do a dream board. And then I was sort of like saying to my team, you need a dream board. You need to put your why on it, because your why is what will get you motivated. And now it's like my biggest thing. I have to update my dream board, but your why changes. So you've got to change your dream board when your why changes, because if you're being reserved and you're not going out there and doing things in your business that you should be doing, your why is not big enough. So like, I'm really money driven, and everyone knows I'm money driven. So I was like, I want to be earning 10 grand a month, and like, it's gonna happen. I can see it happening. But now my why is, I want to get my leaders to earning 10 grand a month. I want them to see what they could be doing. And now me motivating them and helping them get to their goals is a bigger thing for me than the paycheck at the end of the month. And I never thought I'd be like that, because I am like really money driven, but it's just how things change as you go through the business.
Totally, 100%. Yeah, it really is. And that's how falling in love with helping other people achieve their dreams is how you achieve yours. Like, that's exactly, it's like it's how it works. Like, there's nothing more like inspiring than seeing someone you've brought into the business or who's in your team, seeing them achieve amazing things. 100%. But yeah.
I think people as well, they watch as your kind of why, not that you necessarily put your why out there to customers or whatever, but a lot of people will know that you've just joined as a hobby, because you'll often tell them, and they'll see that you've gone and got your nails done once a month because that's what you wanted.
Yeah.
And then they'll see that you bought a new car, and then they'll see that you paid off your debt, because there are ways of sharing it and not being gloaty. And then they'll see that, oh, she's bought a house. And you know, as you're sharing these things, because that's you, that's part of you, that's your life,
it's your life, yeah, and you're just sharing your life,
and sharing you. Scentsy's just a tiny part of your life, and I think the more Scentsy's like entwined in your life, if that kind of makes sense.
That's a really good way of putting it.
Yeah, and you know, you share your life with those little bits of Scentsy in it, and I think when they see you achieving those goals and seeing you do those things, it's different things that make people kind of sit up and be like, hang on a minute, right, what's going on? I need a bit of this. You only wanted a nail.
The amount of people that I thought would support me in my business that haven't, and then I bought my car, my dream car, put it on Facebook, and then people now look at me and they're like, it is actually a business. She's seriously doing this. It's not just a little side hustle. People go, oh, your candle business, it's not a freaking candle business. That winds me up. And people that doubt me makes me work even harder, because I'm like, I don't like people thinking they're right. I'm going to prove them wrong. So it makes me work even harder, just because I want to say, have that. But
I am recording.
It works. Anyone that watches this that knows me, I don't hold back.
She don't. No, it's so true though. It really is. That is like the little things, not just the financial things, but things it's doing for you personally. Like me going to an event for me was a huge deal. I drove on a freaking, like this time a couple of years ago, I've never driven on a blooming motorway. Now I've driven on a motorway. That was a huge thing, and I would never have done that if it hadn't been for network marketing, because that gave me the confidence to think, right, I can do things that scare me. I can do things that scare me. And I think something Heidi just said then as well, know your story, like you knowing what Scentsy's done for you so far, and you knowing where it's going to take you as well. Like going back to what Vicky said about practicing that, sit in your bedroom or sit somewhere and practice what it is. Like, I do Scentsy because, or I joined Scentsy because, and the reasons you joined, what it's done for you. And like practice that and know what that's done for you, so you can speak to people about it, because that is what people will connect with. They'll connect with stories. Facts tell, stories sell. You do Scentsy, it's a network marketing company. That's a fact. You do Scentsy, you joined Scentsy because you had extra time on your hand and you watched somebody else having an amazing success with it and you were really excited, you fell in love with the products and you found that you were already sharing them to all your friends and family, so you thought you may as well join. That's the story. That's what's going to sell the product. That's what's going to give it that authentic know, like, and trust. And that's what people are going to connect to and relate to. Heidi, that drawer behind you is really annoying me. Just need to shut in.
Which one?
Just a little tap.
Wait a minute. I think
Drawers open all over there. I don't know what. But yeah, that's what people like, the story. Know your story, write it down, have it in your notes section in your phone. And if you sat in the hairdresser thinking, right, or if you sat in on the bus and you're thinking, I'm really going to build up to this, like, scroll your phone and think, right, this is my story. Just know it and hold it, like, don't be proud of it as well. I'm so proud.
I think if you're feeling unmotivated as well, like, listen to another consultant's story. Like, Heidi's story gets me every single time. You know, it does. I still cry now. I've listened to it loads and I listen to it over and over again, and I know I'll cry. But I think, like, when you're feeling a bit deflated and you're like, oh, I've tried everything, nothing's working, listen to someone else's story, because it really just gives you the biggest buzz.
And you've never, ever, ever, ever tried everything. Nobody has tried everything.
You never stop learning.
100%.
When I first followed Tam before I joined, it was 100% the posts that Tam was putting on her personal profile that drew me in. It wasn't the product that drew me in. Tam was living her best life. She was so excited. And me and Tam weren't friends back then. We just knew of each other. And it was her living her best life that pulled me in. It was 100%. I had a warmer and I had wax, but we didn't have any spare money. And so I loved this warmer. It was a birthday present and I loved the wax, but I probably in my head thought, well, I'm not going to buy any more because I haven't got any money. And it was 100% Tam's excitement. And I just thought, I just want a bit of this. I just need a bit of this excitement. And I didn't even know her properly. I just knew of her. And so you never know, different things will draw people in. Some people will want the financial side of it. Some people will just think, what is she doing? She's having the best fun. I want a bit of this. There's different things. And so I think sharing your whole Scentsy life, not just the financial, like Tam said, she drove on a motorway. I'm not quite there yet. People that saw me, have known me from years before, knew that I was a little mouse, and they've literally watched me grow and my confidence grow. And just the love of what I've got, they see it. I ooze purple. They just see the passion that I just ooze from loving Scentsy. They see that. And different people, some people might think, oh my God, she's talking about saving a deposit for a house. What is this? Some people might think she's having the best time, I'm joining for that. Some people might see that I'm sharing free Scentsy and they're like, well, I want free Scentsy. Different people join for different reasons, definitely.
But that's, yeah, that you love the journey. So when you say you were loving my posts, those posts, they weren't like, I was, a certified lead star consultant then. It was a long time before I'd, hit director or anything like that. And that was just me loving the journey, loving being part of Scentsy, loving being part of a network marketing company, loving having this part of my life. And that was what it was. And that's like, everybody can do that. You can absolutely love like the whole like what it's doing for you personally, what it's doing for you on a business level, loving the products, all that, and you can share all of that and people will follow that. I watched a social media training once and they said that when you put content out there, so when you say content, you mean a post. So when you put a post out there and think about what content you're doing, like I can think Gemma Glover, I can think Cheeky Thomas, like pictures of Thomas. And that's exactly what I think of when I think of Gemma. I think of like Thomas and he's like nicking all the chocolate and just being like naughty. And I can think like Vicky, I can think of Frankie and her dog, and then Heidi, obviously a cat, her kids, and when she goes out with the family, I know these, obviously I'm friends with these people as well, but I can think of other people, what they're into. So if you think about I thought it was quite clever what this training said. They said about 3 E's. If you think about the 3 E's, one of the 3 E's every time you put content out. So will it engage people? Will it entertain people? Or will it educate people? So if you try and think, so engagement is like like Heidi said about what you put in, what's everyone watched on Netflix recently. That's a perfect engagement kind of post. Like if everyone suddenly goes and starts saying what you watched on Netflix recently, it'll probably not have the same effect. So try and think of something. I did one the other day. Oh my God, I got a great reaction to it. I said to my customers, right, life or death, I've got a gun to your head. You can only ever order one again. Which would it be? Luna or sea salt and avocado? And it was like, I got so many conversations in my inbox from that post, like total engagement post. That's all it was for, an engagement post, and to get other people who've not tried Luna and sea salt avocado thinking, gosh, if these people are like gun to their heads, then it must be a big deal. So think, you know, outside the box. And then entertain, obviously, like Vicky's dog in the drain, Gemma's Thomas eating all the chocolate. You know, those kinds of things are going to entertain people. And then educate is like top tip. Like Heidi said about the a great colouring thing from Pinterest, or something that people might find useful. And it doesn't have to be Scentsy related, you know, probably the more it isn't, like top tips of how to clean your wax out, stuff like that, top tips of how to use Scentsy, like different ways of using the wash with, different things that you've used Scentsy Fresh on, stuff like that's obviously great, but mix it up massively with a lot of other stuff, like things that you've tried for tea, great recipes, great products you've tried, stuff like that. Educate. So those 3 E's, I thought that was really interesting, because that is going to keep people interested in what you're posting, and that's going to keep them interacting and clicking. Therefore, your posts are going to appear in more people's news feeds, and that's going to help you build up that whole know, like, and trust with people, and they're going to connect with you.
I'll tell you a really good interaction post that I did is a Marmite debate. So and I have it every morning, and I literally took a selfie with the jar of Marmite, and I literally, my words was, Marmite, love it or hate it. Honest to God, it got like well over 100 comments. Like everybody was, because everybody loves to give an opinion. Everybody, even everybody loves to give an opinion. And it was just like, oh my God, these
people. Do you love it or hate it?
Me?
Yeah.
Love it.
I hate it.
Love it.
I love it.
One of my girls, Michelle Rowland, she put a picture, look at, come on out guys, let's hear it, love it, I hate it. One of my girls the other day put a picture on of a pot noodle sandwich.
Oh yeah, I've done that one.
Oh.
And she said, if you know, you know. And I can't believe it. I don't know if she's on actually, Michelle Rowland, she did it. She put a picture on of a pot noodle sandwich. And I was like, what the hell is that?
Yeah. I did one. Do you know crumpets? Crumpets or pikelet? That one caused a bit of a stir there. I was like,
well, it's not, it doesn't say pikelets on the pack.
Yeah, but they're still called pikelets.
No, they're not.
They're not, they're crumpets.
Pikelets.
They're not.
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, fish finger signing, food things that you know a lot of people eat. Like that is such a massive pot noodle sandwich is the bomb. No, what is wrong with people? She got but it was a massive like, and then there was people interacting with people. What's a pikelet? It's a crumpet. It's not a pikelet at all. She's made the word up.
It's not. It's a pikelet.
Oh, apparently my dad called them pikelets.
Yeah, it's because your dad was a good man. Oh, you fraud, calling them crumpets.
But how do you have them? Because Lee has them with the cheese slice on.
No, but Marmite.
How about ruining that?
My boyfriend calls it that. Never heard of it until last week.
Do like
pikelet.
Pikelets, but Marmite.
Kimberly knows. Marmite. Yeah, the bread roll debate. It's a bread cake.
Oh, here we go.
Loads of food debates you can start, but that Marmite one was brilliant for me, and so was the pikelet crumpet one. Although people did get annoyed with me, I think, because everyone was like, "It says crumpet," and I was like, "Well, it's still a pikelet."
I know, but that's it. You won't budge. Like you're like, well, I don't know why I've even asked you because I'm not interested.
But you know, if I said to my 5-year-old son, "Do you want a crumpet for breakfast?" He'd be like, "What's a crumpet?" He's 5. He's like, "Pikelets." Yeah.
Oh dear. The colour one, yeah, those colour like there's some shoes, there's a dress I think as well. Yeah, they get people talking. I was going to say,
remember in real life you've got to stick to what you said on social media as well.
Yeah.
You know, like, so I've seen people since and they go, "It's a crumpet," and I'm like, "It's not, it's a pikelet." And like in real life I've seen people and they've actually said that. So stick to what you said on social media, don't change. Be real.
Snickers used to be marathon. Yeah.
Like in the 80s.
I wrote some notes as we were talking down, and I wrote about when what Heidi was saying about the engagement. I've been looking at what other, like, about going and comment on other people's posts on Instagram and Facebook. I've been looking at what other big influencers do, and I've noticed that people with a big following, they all comment, like they seem to have like cycles of people's posts that they comment. So look for local businesses, look for businesses around you, find them on Instagram, Facebook, and start commenting on their posts, like local salons, local florists, local whatever you've got. I mean, there's so many different companies now, isn't there? There's so many small businesses. There's like them domes for the garden. There's a like business for everything. Spend some time seeking out like local businesses. I think you can even look on Google at like local businesses and start connecting with them. Making connections with other local businesses is a great way of growing your network, because if you start interacting with them, they will start showing you. Like I've got quite friendly with quite a few, and I'll share them on my stories and I'll comment on other posts, and then they do the same to me, and it like helps you build up interaction, because obviously Instagram and Facebook are seeing that you are use the hashtag. So hashtag your local area, use the hashtag, and that helps you if you use it as well, but you can seek out other businesses as well, because that's a massive way of growing, definitely. It's one thing I wanted to say, because I noticed that a lot of home accounts, because I follow loads of home accounts, I've noticed that they all kind of like they all comment on each other's posts, and I think it's just like a bit of a mutual understanding. I'll comment on your post, you comment on mine, and then it'll just help people grow and engage and stuff. And it looks really, really authentic as well to other people who are not like who are watching you. It looks really authentic, and it looks great to see that you get an engagement, and Facebook and Instagram will love it. They love it, and they think, okay, people want to see this person's posts, so I'll keep showing it. So yeah. Okay, we got any questions? We have been on for quite a while. Before we go, tumbleweed. I love that tip, Laura. Thanks for that. About the hashtag. No? Okay. I'm going to stop the recording.